Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Evan and this is Sense or Sense. And as some of my long-term followers know, I've followed the story about the TXSE coming to the Dallas area and opening up a new exchange here in 2026. Well, this morning there was some big news that came out nationally that the NYSE, the New York Stock Exchange, is moving its ICE division from Chicago to Dallas as well. This is huge news. Dallas now has essentially two markets that are expected to be up and running by 2026 here. And I thought the Dallas Morning News had a pretty good article here that said that the title is "The NYSE Just Made Y'all Street More Crowded in Dallas." But here's how Texas can benefit. The upstart TXSE is going head-to-head with the big board and NASDAQ, and that's a good thing for the Lone Star State. So first of all, let's dive into this real quickly. The Texas Stock Exchange made waves when it debuted in June 2024 with $120 million in backing from financial giants like BlackRock and Citadel. So this is why, one of the reasons why I think that the TXSE here in Dallas is going to make a pretty big splash. They just announced actually that they've raised over $160 million in a news release a couple weeks ago. And I wanted to bring this update to my viewers because I've been following this since about over 6 months now. And this is the first major PR, public relations release that they've had in quite some time, and it's a big deal with their announcement that they're actually looking for permanent places to locate to in Dallas, as well as the raising of the $161 million, and the plans that they filed a 4,000-page document with the SEC to become a new listing market here in Texas by 2026. So let's go on and let's read a little bit more. Apparently, the impact was so strong that the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ, who have long held a duopoly over the U.S. equity market, felt the need to move in next door. The big board raised eyebrows on Wednesday by moving to reincorporate its Chicago branch in Dallas under the name NYSE Texas in the wake of the NASDAQ putting a new regional management division in Irving. So this is really key here. It is clear to us now that the markets in the United States believe that Texas is worth doing business in. They have now have all of them are going to have a major branch here. So the new TXSE is obviously going to be located and headquartered in Dallas. The NYSE will still be maintained and headquartered primarily in New York City. But they're moving its entire division in Chicago over to what they're going to call NYSE Texas. And this is just preliminary. We don't know exactly where they're going to be located yet or when they're going to be transacting there. And then the NASDAQ is putting in a new regional management division in Irving. I'm not sure what that means yet, but the fact that all three of them are taking note of the Dallas area is important for Texas, as well as keeping markets on their toes. In essence, the more markets that we can have, the more transparent trading and the more transparent that investing will become over time, and probably the more cheaper that the trading will become over time. And our country is large enough and has enough companies listed here, as well as we're considered to be the financial capital of the world. For the most part, we need to have decentralized locations for these companies to be at. So they need to be located in different areas around the United States in case of another attack or other issues, as well as there are a ton of companies located in Dallas and in Texas that are listed. So let's go on and read the rest of this. The TXSE and its backers have clearly rattled NYSE and NASDAQ, said Curdy Sinha, University of Texas Dallas Assistant Professor of Accounting. If you look at other stock exchanges like the Miami Stock Exchange that opened in 2020, nothing really happened. Nobody did anything, but NYSE and NASDAQ are both starting their offices in Dallas, so that does say that they are considering the Texas Stock Exchange as their competition, she adds. It remains to be seen whether TXSE can actually peel away business from NYSE and NASDAQ and grab its own major listings. There is a prestige to listing on the big board, experts say, while NASDAQ has made its name hosting tech giants like Apple and Alphabet. In the short term, however, industry observers say Wall Street getting more crowded validates the growth of the Texas economy and the emergence of the Dallas-Fort Worth region as a major player on the financial stage. But in the long term, the competition between the exchanges can further juice the state's growth, establish it as a hub in the global financial system, and help address systematic issues in the public market. So that's kind of what I was getting at with the systematic issues being all centralized in one place. In New York and Chicago primarily, this is kind of spreading it out and getting some other major locations in the United States and giving them a presence in Texas, which has a larger economy than all of Canada and is up there in the top 10 economies in the entire world. So it's important for them to have their presence here. Physical presence still matters. Modern stock trading happens electronically, and TXSE is on track to go live in early 2026. Will be no different. That's a far cry from making geography obsolete. We have known all along that Texas is the best place to do business. In fact, the entire southeast quadrant of the country has been driving the nation's economic and population growth, said a TXSE salesperson. The TXSE is harnessing the momentum to build a national securities exchange in our home state. The exchange sees a major opportunity in Texas and more broadly the U.S. Southeast. The 10-state region highlights a pipeline of 14,000 backed private companies. The Lone Star State already housing 50 Fortune 500 companies. NYSE and NASDAQ largely agree. NYSE's Wednesday release highlighted that Texas owns the largest number of NYSE listings, representing over $3.7 trillion in market value. Meanwhile, there are over 200 Texas-based companies listed on the NASDAQ, around $1.3 trillion. So this is really key here, guys. What this does is it validates TXSE and opening here in Dallas. It gives them a better chance of surviving than a lot of the other smaller regional exchanges have been over the last several years. The SEC obviously has to approve this, and it's a huge undertaking with 4,000 pages of information being filed. But I think that this is important for the state of Texas. It's also important for the United States to have that decentralization and have many different locations where these big exchanges are. And I think that ultimately having a location in Dallas, which has very, very much been a banking hub for a long time, will meld very well with the other locations, the NYSE and the NASDAQ. So a lot of the rest of the stuff in this article is just getting into nitty gritty. But ultimately, what I wanted to bring to you guys today was that, first of all, the TXSE filed with the SEC, so now they're officially, an exchange trying to file to start listing. They hope to start listing by 2026. The NYSE and the NASDAQ are moving to the Dallas area, moving certain areas of their business to the Dallas area. And over the next year, it's going to be really exciting for myself, who lives in Dallas, to see all this. I've been in the industry for over 20 years, and this is the first time I really feel like there's a lot of momentum behind something going on in the Dallas area that's more than banking, like an actual regional exchange, as well as the presence of the NYSE and the NASDAQ. So I wanted to bring this to you guys today. I felt like it was important. Please let me know what you think about the TXSE. I'm curious to see if anybody has any additional feedback. There isn't a whole lot of information out there about it. And I've been going off the press releases from their website as well as a couple of news articles. And when I saw this, the NASDAQ as well as the NYSE making a decision to move here, I thought it was pretty important. So thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all the support. See you next time.